So what is a network? A network provides us with the ability to communicate with people and applications that we need no matter where they reside. They come in all different shapes and sizes. For instance, I have a home network at my home where I take a couple computers and network them together in order to share a single internet connection. In most cases, companies start with a single geographic location, such as a headquarters location, and build a network there. If I have a network that exists in a single geographic location, I will usually call this a local area network, or a LAN. Over time, companies find the need to expand out to different branches in order to be closer to their customers. These branches can vary in sizes. They might be a small branch, and a lot of times we combine the words small office and home office together to make the word SOHO. But in any case, we can have a local area network at each one of our branches, as well as in our home office and at our headquarters. Now, what if my local area networks want to share resources? Well, that's where a different type of network comes in. There's a type of network called a wide area network. Now, a wide area network usually consists of a network that's spread across multiple geographic areas and links to separate locations. And we usually abbreviate that and call it a WAN. Now, this WAN also consists of links that we buy or lease from our service providers. And these links are usually considered private connections because it's only my data that rides across them. And I can actually guarantee certain service levels for my data, as opposed to the internet, which is also a form of a wide area connection, but is a public connection, and I can't guarantee service levels across it. Sometimes I use another form of network to enable communications across the internet called a virtual private network. And a virtual private network allows me to create encrypted tunnels across the internet in order to safeguard and protect my data and allow folks like remote workers or other sites to talk to my headquarters through these tunnels just like they were sitting on my corporate LAN. So those are some of the various types of networks we will be referencing throughout this course. Let's go ahead and take a look at the different devices that make up those networks. You might already see some devices that you're very familiar with. First and foremost, people are very familiar with a personal computer. Sometimes that'll be a laptop or a desktop, but the personal computer is something they use to connect to the network. Inside that personal computer, there exists some form of network interface card. Network interface card lets me physically connect to the network and controls the communications between my PC, laptop, or workstation and the network. And then I will go ahead, in some cases, if I'm hardwired into the network, I will use an Ethernet cable, which is a standard way to connect to the network, in order to connect to the network. Another device that is commonly referred to in networking is a workstation. Now, a workstation is just like a PC or laptop, but with more resources. It's got special hardware or software to allow it to do special tasks like video editing or AutoCAD or something like that. A lot of times, these workstations are connected at higher speeds to the network than what you'd normally connect your PC to the network at, just because they have the need for more bandwidth. The last type of device we're going to talk about is our server. And our server is another specialized device with specialized hardware that allows it to serve up applications to the network and to clients on the network. These applications could be multiple applications like email or web. Now, if I just went and put hundreds of devices on a single network, the communications that happened across that network would not be very efficient. It's now a best practice to take your network and divide it up into multiple groups or work groups. And these can be based on function or administration. So I might have an HR network and an accounting network. To make sure that all my networks can coexist and have optimal connectivity, I'm going to go ahead and install a switch. Now what I have is two networks that can coexist on the same physical media, but they can't talk to each other and they can't share resources between them. In order to allow that to happen, I need a device called a router. Now, a router enables communications between multiple separate networks, and that's exactly what we're doing here. So in this diagram, I have my local area network, which enables my HR and my accounting network to talk to each other, but I also want my employees to be able to talk to the internet, and I want folks from the internet to be able to access my company's website. And finally, I want folks on my local area network to be able to talk to my remote sites over my private WAN connection, and vice versa. So these are some of the different devices that we'll see on the network and be talking about throughout our lessons. Please join me for Lesson 1.2, Physical Network Topologies.